Yo, what up? What up? As always, we set off the show with a toast. Q ain't here this week. He on vacation, well deserved for my brother Q.
Word up.
So your boy Cash gonna hold down the toast. Normally it's all in good fun. The toast, it's all it's celebratory. It's joyous. It's respect. It's giving props to somebody or something. This week I want to actually just have a toast almost for condolences, man. And that sounds weird when I say it, but it's more of a toast of celebrating. I have a couple of people whose loved one passed away, so we're gonna toast up and celebrate their life and all the great things they accomplished, and all the great life that they had lived on this earth. This one's going out to my man Hassan's mom's, Hostile's mother, and this was going out to my man Nick's wife. May you rest in peace. May the Lord be with you and peaceful journey. You know what I'm saying?
Salud. Salud. That was beautiful, man. Great.
Appreciate that. All right, man. So let's get down to business. As always, I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk out on these internet streets. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you hanging out with us, man. We greatly appreciate that. As I said before, my man Q on vacation, but it don't matter because I got my brother Ed Television in the building. He holding it down with the kid, and we lit. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
Everything good. Everything great, man. How about you, my brother?
I'm blessed, man. I'm excited, man. Yeah. I apologize because we couldn't get the show Wednesday, but all types of family issues this week. But we're here now. We're probably gonna blast off a Sunday night, give you like a Giants post game reaction. Jets, I believe, have the bye this week.
Yes, sir.
Immediately following this show, we're not live, but immediately following this show, my man at Television and my man G at a character, we'll be doing a UFC 294.
Yes, 294.
294 preview of what's to come this weekend. Really great card. Very exciting fights, man. So you're gonna enjoy that. We'll have that out. We'll have both episodes out by tomorrow. If you're watching now, obviously. But so we're very excited about that. Also, Drunk Sports Combat, the boxing segment, will be back in 2 weeks. Shout out to my man King. He will be co-hosting with your boy. Welcome aboard, man. Very knowledgeable guy. We appreciate him coming on. And as of always, we're gonna give you the content that you deserve, the way we do it, our style. We remix it with all that fly swag and sauce all over. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
How you feeling, my dude?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good. I've been hyped, ready to go. You already know.
Facts. So listen, man. Every week we come on here and I cry and complain. As a New York fan, a sour and surly and angry New York fan. You know what I'm saying? About the Giants normally, because we all know what's going on with the Giants this year. Last year they did very well, probably overachieved, so to speak, right? So this year everyone came in with these very high expectations, albeit they might have been unrealistic. We're emotional Giants fans, and this is what it is, right? Thus far, it has not worked out for the New York Giants. They are 1-5, currently with a record of 1-5, and look inept on all three sides of the ball, special teams, offense, and defense, right? And normally we come out here and we spew a bunch of stats and we make conclusions and we give ideologies on what should be done, and we armchair Monday morning quarterback this shit to death, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not. Listen, man. I'm not gonna do that this week, man. I'm just gonna. This is gonna be like almost cathartic, therapeutic for all my fellow Giants fans, man. In your opinion, let me ask you this, man. 1-5. This is they face the Commanders this week. Any chance of salvaging the season? I don't think there is, but if there's any chance, they must get this win. It's imperative, correct?
Yes, sir. I agree. I concur.
What is your take thus far on how the Giants have been looking?
Well, they've just been off. They've just been terrible, like terrible. It's week to week. It's just been so hard to watch these Giants. Like we always reiterate on the show, we came in, live and direct. Giants this, Giants that. Yes, go all day, every day. But then it's just been the total opposite. And this game was a close game. Like, it was a very good game. Like, a lot of components that we've been, I guess, bashing them about, they stepped it up. Like, their defense stepped up. Like, they played great. I feel like the defense played great. They held, the Bills scoreless, right? If I'm not mistaken, they were scoreless in the first half. You know what I mean? No
And
touchdown,
held
no
them to
field goal.
14 points overall, which
Yeah,
is good for that offense. This is,
you know what I
it's a high
mean?
powered offense.
Yeah, so I love that aspect. Maybe we could gain some traction then. Maybe that could help us salvage the season. I'm not sure when is Daniel Jones coming back, but I can't lie, Tyrod Taylor didn't look that bad. He didn't look that bad for someone coming out of backup QB. Hasn't started like what, the last 2 seasons or something, or almost a full season. He played pretty great. Didn't get no touchdowns, but didn't throw no intos either. You know what I mean? Got the Giants to score position throughout the game. Embraced the young wide receiver movement. He was showing wide receiver love that we were talking about. Yo, they're not throwing to these guys, and guys like Slayton, Robinson, and Hyatt, they were getting love. Saquon's first game back. We big on Saquon.
Yes,
he
sir.
he came back and he murdered. He had 93 yards on 24 carries. You know what I mean? So maybe they could gain some confidence, some kind of attraction heading into this game, into the Commanders. And it's like you said last week, maybe, or 2 weeks ago rather, maybe they could finish the season respectably. You know what I mean? Finish the season strong, respectably, not have that like that awful season that people think we're gonna have. That I don't want to go out with just a win or two. Maybe shoot for 6, 7, 8 wins. You never know.
Yeah, all valid points. I believe I looked up a stat today. It said the last team to make the playoffs who started 1-5 was the Kansas City Chiefs with Alex Smith in 2015, right?
Wow.
So that's where we're going on 2024, 8 years, something like that, right? So it's obviously the odds are stacked against the Giants making the playoffs, right? So
indeed,
here's the conundrum I face as a Giants fan. Do I want us to make the season respectable, or do I want to crash for greedy ass Caleb Williams, right? And we're gonna get into that in a minute. They always say that this quarterback is a once in a generation talent, right? We hear that every year.
Every fucking year.
Right? The number 1 2 guy. But I don't know, man. I said last week I've been the biggest Daniel Jones proponent out of everyone. You know what I'm saying? Ask anybody. I've been rocking with him, forever. Bought his jersey. I defend him. I was jumping out the window saying he's a top 10 quarterback. And he very well might be, although it doesn't look like it right now. And there's a lot of factors that are adding up to his difficulties this year. But I got to tell you, man, watching Tyrod Taylor in the offense the second half of that game 2 weeks ago and starting this game, the offense looks different, man. I know you got the offensive liners in shambles. I get it. Big up to Pugh, former Giant, came back basically off the couch, offensive lineman, man.
Yes.
And then come in to play left tackle. It's a very hard ask. It's very hard to ask somebody, one, to go play left tackle when he's out of left tackle, and then two, to do it after you've been off the couch. Even in how they in the beginning of the games they have, this is such and such from Michigan State. This is such and such from this guy. They line everyone. They all show the pictures. His shit said, this is Pugh from off the couch.
Off the couch.
That was crazy.
I love when they do that. And now that you talk about Pugh coming back, that's a big move for us, because we lost another offensive lineman. Our guard, Lemieux, he's out with a bicep injury for the rest of the season. So it's like, damn, he's like, we gained something, and then he's like, we gained something, and then we lose something. It's like, damn. But Pugh was a big pickup. He's one of my favorite Giants, like, offensive lineman. Like, if you pay attention to the offensive line we had throughout the years, he's been good. I felt like that was a good pickup.
That was a great pickup, and shots to him, man. But we also lost Izudo. But here, check this out. What my original point was, the offensive line is most definitely in shambles, right? But when Tyrod is in there, the ball moves different, man. Do I think he's better than Daniel Jones? No. Okay. But that when that pocket collapses, man, he adjusts accordingly, even with that offensive line, in shambles. And one thing that stood out to me is that they took a lot of shots downfield
Yes.
last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now also, is it coincidence that Tyrod just seems more poised, more experienced in the pocket? He seems he
More
doesn't seem like
seasoned.
he more
More
seasoned,
seasoned.
doesn't seem rattled.
Mm-hmm.
Um he goes through his progressions. I feel a little bit better than Jones at this point. Daniel Jones seems to panic a little bit. So you know what I mean? What I've been noticing.
Yes.
Like I said, he took a lot of good shots down the field. But the one thing, another thing I was thinking about with the Giants is that this is not going to be a quarterback controversy.
No.
Obviously,
No.
you know what I'm saying. This is Daniel Jones. We're paying him the money,
Mm-hmm.
but should we rock with Tyrod, man? What do you think, man? Let's say Tyrod comes out, wins this game against the Commanders this week, goes, let's say, 250, no interceptions, 30 yards rushing, 2 TDs, and wins the game. Well, do we keep him in there? What do you think?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? He barely won. He barely won this game. The defense held it. Like you said, they held the Bills to 14. The field goal. They were kicking field goals, but he almost won that game last night. I mean, not last night.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
He almost won that game this past Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to him. I always liked him. He always been a good seasoned vet, journeyman kind of quarterback. He played good with the Bills. He played good with this team, that team. It's like you said, he would look very poised, look like he knew what he was doing out there with that offense, and this guy was just on the bench the past couple of weeks. Not to take nothing away from Danny, but Danny, you can see that he crumbles when he sees all those guys coming rushing at him. The sack of this, Tyrod got sacked 3 times out of 15 tries.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to move.
That's still no good, but it's better than what Danny's been doing. Going through. And no fault to Danny's.
No fault to Danny because it's like you said, our line is in shambles. But one thing I noticed too that the Giants need to work on, like the Giants are what they have 0 offensive touchdowns in the last 12 quarters,
dating back to the San Francisco game.
You know what I mean?
That's the last time they had a touchdown, which is insane.
Yeah,
by the way.
that is like ridiculous, and it's like, what's going on? Because I really can't pinpoint just what's wrong with the Giants. You could mention coaching, you could mention quarterback, offensive line, but I don't know if it's something bigger than that. Maybe Dable lost the locker room or something.
I think you hit it on the head. I think coaching has something to do with it. I want to elaborate on that for a minute, but I just want to skate back to Tyrod Taylor just for one more second.
Mm-hmm.
In all fairness to Daniel Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley came back last week.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley makes you change how you run your defense, how you scheme your defense against somebody, right? So that might have opened up things for Tyrod Taylor that Daniel Jones didn't have before too. Because when you got Saquon, you got to put extra safety up in the box.
Oh yeah,
that mitigates some of these big runs he could potentially break off. He's always a threat, whether he does it or not. I believe he had 93 yards. He had a couple of decent runs. But he's always a threat. So that changes up how they scheme their defense against you, and that changes up your offensive looks. You know what I'm saying? Because he's always a threat, right? You saw Saquon last year, and Daniel Jones together, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That freed up a lot of shit for Daniel Jones and vice versa. Back to the coaching. Disappointed in the coaching, man. Listen, when you're the coach and you win, right? The quarterback and the coach gets all the credit.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take the hits when you're doing bad, man. Brian Dable last year, he was out here on an award tour, like Tribe Called Quest said, Coach of the Year, right? Taking his bows every chance he could get, and deservingly so. He had a great season, did a great job coaching. First year came in, coming off the back of Joe Judge, who everybody hated, Sherman. You know the list of fucking clowns that the Giants had, right?
Yeah.
What I loved about Brian Dable is he ingratiated himself. Joe Judge is very like stringent and strict and nasty with the media. Yeah, too militant and just say smart remarks to the media. Trying to emulate Bill Belichick up there in New England. You can't emulate Bill Belichick with no rings in your fingers, homie. Calm down. So what I noticed was Dable comes in, right, off of a Belichick recommendation. As a matter of fact, he comes in. What I noticed about him last year, and you probably noticed this too, he immediately ingratiated himself with the media.
Yes.
He learned all their names,
Mhm.
answered all the questions. He said, "Damn, I'm not going to be like Joe Judge." They ran Joe Judge out of town, regardless of how bad he was. We were like,
Mhm.
we're not dealing with your bullshit. You guys suck, and we're going to deal with your bullshit. On top of that, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. This is New York, homie.
Mhm.
You must got a twister. You know what I mean? The media will kill you out here. You know what I mean? They will run you the fuck up out of town quick,
Yep. Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
But what I've noticed as of late is I've been watching some of these post-game press conferences, and when he speaks to the media during the week, I'm talking about Brian Dable. Lately, he's very short-answered, says a lot of little slick shit.
Mhm.
He's very like almost grouchy, almost Belichickian. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Listen,
Mhm.
homie, you ain't you ain't did what Belichick did. You came in, you had a great season last year, but you ain't won shit here.
Yep.
My advice to you is calm down. You're having a really bad season. There's a
Mhm.
lot of mistakes the Giants are making, and I mean mistakes that you almost have to blame on the coaching, a lack of discipline,
Yes.
crazy penalties,
Mhm.
not being able to tackle. Yes, the defense did better
Mhm.
but this year they've been terrible at tackling,
Look at
right?
the goal line baffle they had. To end the first half.
Situational football. Again, ready to say
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
situational football.
Mhm.
Some want to blame that maybe on Tyrod.
Mhm.
You got to split the difference between them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, a great point. Absolutely, that was really bad coaching. Was that Kafka, Dable, whoever? Doesn't matter. Like I said, penalties. Not protecting the football. These are all coaching things, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Do we have playmakers? No, we do not. We didn't have playmakers last year. Everyone thought Waller, Paris Campbell, um, what's the rookie? Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah. Mhm.
Everyone thought, oh, these guys are gonna come in and just make a big. Yeah, they're playmakers, but they're not like bona fide playmakers.
Yeah.
Waller is. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But with the lack of the playmakers, man, that we have, other than really Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones to some degree when he runs,
Mhm.
your coaching has to be tight. You can't make mistakes. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You can't mismanage the clock. You see the Jets did that the week before this. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That issue like that.
Mhm.
So I agree with you. Like I think Dable, we said this last week, you're on the clock, my brother. You
Yes,
feel what I'm
sir.
saying?
Mhm.
You get the love when shit's going great.
Mhm.
You gotta take the hits when shit's not working. Your thoughts on that,
Exactly.
brother?
I agree 100%. It's like I've been saying since the beginning of the show. If you can't stand the heat, get the fuck out the kitchen. You know what I
Facts.
mean? That
Facts.
like New York has always been known as a melting pot for different
Mm-hmm.
cultures. Different sounds, different type of living. Different type of sports fan. We're just a
Mm-hmm.
different type of sports fan. We love you when you give us. You in good graces with us as the fans. If you're doing everything that's good. But you also, you have to have a backbone here too. It's like you said, you have to take the good with the bad with the good. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I was saying earlier, I don't know, maybe he's losing the locker room a little bit, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe that coaching staff that he has is just not working well for him because Kafka came from a different system, right? He came from KC and he came from the Bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not working for him. Maybe he needs to find somebody that's more fitting for his system. You know what I mean? So it's a whole plethora of things. But I do say that he gotta calm down and return to that Brian Dable he was last year. You know what I mean? Find that love for football, embrace your team again, get that team back together. You know what I mean? And display that on the field. Because last year the Giants nobody gave like I can't say nobody. I'm going to speak for myself. I really didn't give the Giants a shot last year, and look what he did with that Giants team. Came in, boom, won that first game, boom, confidence
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
He needs that type of win this season, maybe this game or the game after that. Like he needs that crucial win to get this team back to be like, you know what? Even if we don't make the playoffs, we're gonna make this a fucking reasonable team that people gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like, you know what? Next year they're gonna come crazy.
Yeah. I know he feels that pressure too. Do you remember last year? After one of the wins, he's dancing in the locker room to
Yeah.
some drill music, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, this guy's a player's coach, and
Yeah.
even though he berated Daniel Jones, there was a play. I forgot what it might have been an interception. I forget what the turnover was, but
Mhm.
he's just ripping into Daniel Jones when he comes to the sideline last year, right?
Mhm.
But it played different last year. They were
Mhm.
winning.
Mhm.
He, he was dancing in the locker room to hip hop music. That's a lot for a fat white dude to be in there
Yeah,
dancing
man.
with a bunch with
Yeah.
54 minority dudes who love drill and trap music.
Yeah.
Young. That shows, like
You
you're
trying to
one
be
of us.
relatable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
relatable.
Mhm.
Now this year he's just barking on dudes, barked on
Mhm.
Tyrod Taylor this week, barked on the whole incident with the
With
tablet with
the
Daniel Jones and
he
all.
just threw
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's looking like you're crumbling. That
Mhm.
pressure can start. The walls start to close in. Listen, if you're listening, man, my brother,
Mhm.
get back to basics. Just be you. Don't try
Word.
to be Bill Belichick. Don't
Word.
you see it didn't work out for Joe Judge. You see it didn't
Mhm.
work out for Shermer.
Mhm.
All them other clowns that was here. Do it.
Macadoo.
McAdoo, yeah, McAdoofus and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Got a
But listen,
woosah.
yeah, woosah. Listen, so but I'm saying, look, another thing. I know we're spending a lot of time on the Giants, man. But listen, real quick before we transition, they have a big game coming up against the Commanders, as we mentioned earlier
Division
in the
rival.
show. Right? A game I think they can win. Are the Commanders decent? Yeah, the Commanders are decent. I like Eric Bieniemy. I've always been a proponent of him. Sam Howell is better than I thought.
Mhm.
Right? But he's also their line is also in shambles too. I believe he was sacked like 34 times or some crazy shit like that this year.
Yep. They 3-3 though. I mean,
They 3-3, but
Mhm.
they're beatable to me. They're
Yeah.
beatable. We can go in there, and beat them. Even though our offensive line is crazy, they got a decent couple of guys rushing off the edge, so we got to take care of that. But this is a must-win game Sunday. We're
Yeah.
out of it if we don't. But if we do lose, I say tank. I'm on the thought process of tank for Caleb. What do you think about that?
I mean, let's start with the Commanders. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta go. We play them. No, they're coming here. So they coming here. The only thing is, I think it's a winnable game for the Giants. You know what I mean? If they catch that same groove that they caught the last game against the Bills, but the Commanders got to watch out because they scored 20 more points every game except for one game. When they scored 3 against the Bills. So they got an offense that can score. You know what I mean? They got a couple guys in that defensive front that could get out there and get the
out
Giants.
there. Yeah, get after the QB. Yep,
You know what I mean? So we just gotta play our part and make sure we got all the X's and O's right and go out there and play some winning football. Not just football, not pop one football.
Winning football.
Winning football. Like, you know what I mean?
Disciplined on all sides of the ball. Correct.
Yes. This is a divisional game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We need this. We need this game for not just for morale, just for moving forward to turn the shit around. Because like I said, we probably ain't gonna make playoffs, but at least end the season respectively. I'm gonna jump on what you said last year. I feel like we should just end the season respectively. I'm big on Caleb, but I'm really not because I haven't seen too much with him. Sometimes with these guys, he's a generational talent, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. You give him all the accolades off for 1 year, but sometimes it's scary when you get some of these guys off for that 1 year. You know what I mean? You're just basing him on 1 year of his solid work. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? He could wind up like a Ryan Leaf, a Tim Couch, or Jamarcus Russell. You never know with these guys. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna come out and be a Mahomes, be a Lamar Jackson, be a Josh Allen. It's rare you get that. So that's the only thing I'm scared about, like tanking for a guy like Caleb. And right now, we were talking about it before. Look what Caleb is even asking for now. Like, you think teams are gonna?
You fucked me up with that. I wasn't even aware of that. Tell me what we're talking about. What have you heard that Caleb asking? I mean, Caleb Williams is asking if he comes out and as the number 1 pick in the draft.
Well, I can't take credit for this. Shout out to Q while he on vacation. My man's still working. He sent us this in the thread.
Bring me some liquor, nigga. Go ahead.
Word out. So in reports, he's saying that whatever team drafts him, he wants to have partial ownership. Like, coming into the league, he wants to have partial ownership of whatever team that drafts him. So exactly, like, what are you asking for? Like, don't get me wrong, I fucks with the ambition. I love that. I love the business.
I do too.
Aspect
Absolutely.
It's different. But come on, kid, be realistic. You know what I mean? You're not a Don Dada like that. You know what I mean?
What have you done to do that? Okay, so if he gets 1%, what are we giving Patrick Mahomes?
Exactly.
What are we giving Joe Burrow? He just got his deal. But I'm saying, what are we, like, come on, man. That's ridiculous, man.
Exactly. That's just 1%. Too far-fetched.
That's insane, bro. Even 1% of the millions and billions of NFL teammates in perpetuity for a lifetime is ridiculous. What if he comes in as a bust? I don't give a fuck if he's Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't get a percentage of the Patriots.
Exactly.
Even
after winning so many Super Bowls.
I like the ambition. I like the entrepreneurial and mindset of the whole shit. And I can't knock the hustle like my man Jay said. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
But it's just not realistic, man. Let's keep it 100. And you know what I mean? And you haven't done nothing yet. So shout out to Caleb Williams. Word. I wouldn't mind getting him, but I don't know if we get him and that off, are we gonna put him behind an offensive line that's just terrible?
That's gonna run him down.
I do have faith in Joe Shane, and I know we just talked a little crazy about Dable, but I do have faith in Dable as well. I do think they will turn it around, but I don't know how wise it is and how valuable it would be just to be respectable. Like, okay, so let's say we somehow get to 500. We ain't making the playoffs. You need at least, I think in this division you need at least like 9 wins at the least, more likely 10. I don't think we're gonna see 10. You know what I'm saying? So
no, hell no.
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we get a draft pick. Maybe, obviously we take a QB, but maybe we take a really good offensive lineman. I don't know. I'm not super college football guy. That's a question for somebody who's really into the college football scene. I've never been, but I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But we'll see, man. Big win this weekend.
Yeah, we need this. We need to kick some Commander ass. You know what I mean? I still don't fuck with that name though.
that name is trash. And I was down in VA. Shout out to all my VA niggas who fuck with the Redskins. Let's keep it
word.
My man Leon, all my man Buck, all my dudes on there. My man Nick.
Yeah. Shit, word. I'll show some love to the Redskins or Commander fans, whatever y'all want to call them. I've, always been a good, respectable fan base. I never really beefed with a Washington Redskin Commanders fan. I can't say, I'm beefing with not like
they on their shit down there though, but they more worried about the Cowboys down there. Cowboys Redskins is the real rivalry.
That's the real rivalry. So it's like fucking the 70s, 80s, and 90s and shit, especially the 90s because they both won Super Bowls during that era. As a matter of fact, the NFC East ran the beginning of the 90s in Super Bowls. 100%. Three straight Super Bowls, NFC champions, East champions. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Giants, Redskins, Dallas. Boom.
Giants, Redskins, Dallas. But last thing on the Giants, we do have to score, have to be able to punch that ball in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? We're putting together drives, and that's another thing why I think the defense performed well last week because we were putting together more lengthy drives, gave them a little bit of rest. You know what I'm saying? But gotta punch that ball in the end zone. Has to happen. Can't win off field goals. You got to be able to score, right?
Word. I drink to that. I'll take a shot to that.
Let's take a shot for that. Yeah, absolutely. Let's since we're talking about being able to score in the end zone. Pause. That's just sounded crazy. Let's transition to the Jets. Another New York team, and another team who can't seem to fucking score in the red zone, man. Right? We should call this the New York field goals. All New York do is kick field goals, man.
Word. The NYCFGs.
NYCFG, salute.
Salute.
But the Jets. Let's talk about the Jets. Transition to the Jets. Man, listen, as much as I want to kill the Jets for their offensive ineptitude, their fucking defense is cash money, dog.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Cash motherfucking money. Elite. If you had any apprehension about crowning their defense a top 5 defense in the league, they are top 5 defense in the league. Got to put them up there with the Niners and the Cowboys, things like that. You're more of a Jets guy than a Giants guy. I know there's no Giants or Jets hate on anybody here. We both root for both of them. I'm a little more of a Giants. You're a little more Jets. What is your assessment of the Jets last week, and what is your assessment of the Jets going forward? Can they make the playoffs with your boy Zach?
Playoffs with Zach, it's always going to be
not the championship. Playoffs
with Zach.
Yeah.
Ooh, if Zach plays the way he's been playing to get him at least to scoring position the way he has, maybe with that defense, because that defense been killer. Shout out to the Williams brothers. Quincy and Quinnen, they killed last week. Like one had a fumble recovery, the other one had an interception, which was dope. That's the first time two brothers on the same team had takeaways in the same game in like a decade. I've read.
Yeah, they balling.
So that's dope. That's dope to see that tandem. But back to Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Zach played, like I said last week. I'm gonna say it again. He's still not that guy to me, but at least he's playing to get the team into that scoring position. You know what I mean? He's handing off the ball to Brees. Brees didn't have the same game he had last week, but Brees had a touchdown, a late game touchdown, which he should have never had because they could have for clock management. But fuck it, they won the game. I'll take it. But if they do make playoffs with Zach at the helm, it's gonna be because of that defense. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like Zach needs to do. Zach just needs to do what he needs to do, get the ball to his main weapons like Conklin, Wilson, you know what I mean, to whoever he needs to get to, handoffs to Brees, handoff to Cook, find them in the backfield, whatever, little dump passes. Just do what you got to do to get them into position to score. But that defense, though, man, that defense is insane. Like they allowed 0 points in the last 7 Philly drives. Like they didn't. Philly didn't do nothing, and they held Jalen Hurts to what a touchdown and 3 interceptions. You know what I mean? They sacked him twice. You know what I mean? Held them to less than 50 yards rushing, less than 300 yards in the air. You know what I mean? So I'm really riding with that defense. If they make that playoff push, is because of that defense.
And they did it without Sauce.
Exactly.
Right? So
without Sauce. You know what I mean? And they helped
Sauce
everybody.
Too.
I love Sauce. And another big stat I saw, they let AJ Brown go wild. They let him go wild, but everybody else didn't do that. Everybody else had 47 yards or less. Receiving. Obviously you can't stop a guy like Brown without Sauce.
Yeah.
But long story short, to keep
even with Sauce, it's very hard. Sauce is and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Sauce is really like
a shutdown.
It'll shut down cover corner. He's more of like maybe like a zone kind of. He's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's very hard to stop AJ Brown, man.
I feel like Sauce to me is like 2 former Jet cornerbacks in one. He's like Revis Island and Cromartie in one. He has the height like Cromartie. Could tip them passes, and depending on who he's guarding. Depending on the receiver, he could shut them down. But a guy like that's like around his height or bigger in stature, he can't really shut them down like AJ Brown, like Jamar Chase, like those type of guys.
No, I agree. I agree. So what do you think? Playoffs?
They could play. They could probably make playoffs. If the defense keeps on playing the way they're doing, you could tell they're going to be a top 3 defense, top 5 defense all year. And Zach just needs to do what he needs to do to get his team to score. And like you said, they need to score touchdowns. They need to punch it in, either rushing or in the air. If they could maintain that, they could have a good playoff push. You know what I mean?
Reed is out, Sauce is out, right? So they have a little chance to rest up this week. They have a bye week. They're gonna play a real shitty team. After the bye week, they play after the bye week.
The Giants.
So they're looking good. Man, the Jets are good, man. Imagine the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, man. Let me say this about the Jets, man. Robert Saleh, right? Talking reckless last week. I like it. A lot of people don't like certain things about Saleh. They don't think like in situational football he's very good, clock management. He relies on his coaches a lot, obviously, which everyone should. But you saw him last week when they again him kick the field goal. He's like trying to see, if they should go for it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. People are killing him for. I don't necessarily kill him, but what I do fucking like Robert Saleh. He's like a leader. He's like a man's man. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He's like, and
he's
I like the
coach.
He's a player's coach, and he's on that Robert shit last year with the whole receipts. Anyone talking shit, I'm taking receipts, niggas. That's some street nigga shit. That's some shit I do. Man. But any nigga who ever said a, like in Paid in Full, any nigga who ever said I fucking looked at me wrong or said some fucking jealous bullshit, these niggas is dead. Remember when a nigga in Paid in Full said that shit? Niggas is dead. So Robert Saleh, I love that. Robert Saleh talking reckless last week. Basically saying that he's embarrassed all these top quarterbacks this week.
Yeah, exactly. Like he going at them.
I like that shit, dog. Man. Like I like the moxie, nigga. Talk your shit, nigga. Let's go. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not. Although some see it as arrogance, it's not lies, right? Jets have stifled like 3 of the top dudes, behind center in the NFL this year. They played the Bills. Motherfuckers got busy on Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Played the Eagles. They made Jalen Hurts look average, although Jalen Hurts hasn't really looked great this year. He's still a top quarterback. And then obviously when they played
The
the
Chiefs.
Chiefs, they got hosed that game, kind of, sorta. You know what I mean? But yo, that goes to show you how elite this fucking defense is, man.
Yes.
I am a believer in that. Now, however, as elite as the defense is, right, you still got to be able to score points.
Yes.
Now, the Jets have not been losing because of Zach Wilson. Doesn't necessarily mean they've been winning because of him either, correct?
Exactly.
Right? He's not turning the ball over, which is great, but he's not a QB that's gonna go out there and get the game for you, man. Right now he's game managing. Does he look great in spots? Yes. Does he look like he's getting better? Yes. Is he reading his progressions a little bit better? Maybe.
Here and there.
Here and there, right?
Here and there.
I'm gonna say playoffs. Obviously, some people, Brandon Tierney from the Fan the other day, jumped out the window, say the Jets can make the Super Bowl. I don't see that at all. But I do think this defense is good enough, and if Zach continues to progress and doesn't make mistakes, and they somehow can score in the red zone, right? Same problem with the Giants; they can't win the game when you can't score, man. Can't win the game when you can't make field goals. I'm not gonna sit here and read you a bunch of stats, how many pressures the offensive line gave up. The defense. I'm not gonna do all that, man. We're just gonna talk basic shit this week, right?
Yes.
You got to be able to score in order to be able to win. And not being able to punch that ball in the red zone, you're just not going to be able to do it, man. You see Miami putting up major points. Matter of fact, look at Belichick in New England. Judon is out, and a couple of his defensive pieces are out. Yes, I get that. But that defense is a really good defense, but they can't score
at all.
They be getting served up. So you got to be able to score.
Did he bench Mac Jones too? He benched Mac Jones like two straight games or something like that. I think he benched Mac Jones in the fourth quarter.
This year, really? Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought, okay. But I get it. Mac Jones throwing interceptions all over the place, and I don't know, man. I'm gonna say playoffs. Let's pull up their schedule, man. Let's do it like that.
I got it right here.
You got everything. Go. Let's read it off, man. Then I'm gonna tell you win or loss. Ready?
So
what are they right now? They're what?
They're 1 sorry, they're
3-3.
They're 3-3. So we on a bye right now. Then after the bye, we play the Giants.
Okay, I'm gonna say 4-3.
Then they play the Chargers.
I'm gonna say 4-4.
Then they play the Raiders.
5-4.
Then they play the Bills again.
I'm gonna say Bills get this one. I'm gonna say 5-5.
Then they play Miami.
I know people think it's they can Miami beat them last time in the division game again.
This is the first matchup of the season against Miami too.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Bills. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, 5-6. I think Miami beats them. Where are they playing?
They're playing here, MetLife.
You know what? I'm gonna give them that win.
Okay.
6-5.
Then the Texans come down to us here. I think we could beat the Texans.
7-5.
Remember, the Jets have one of the easiest schedules second half of the season.
Yeah, because they had one of the hardest through the first half of the season. Okay,
exactly. Yeah. And they're 3-3 right now. Remember when we said in the beginning, and they at least could get 3 to 4 wins in the first 6 weeks, maybe. But this was with Aaron Rodgers. All right. So after the Texans, we go fly down to Miami and play the Dolphins.
I'm gonna give that to the Dolphins. So 7-6.
Then we play the Commanders. The Commanders come to New York.
I'm gonna be generous and give it to them, but it's not a gimme. Let's say 8-6.
Okay, then we fly out to Cleveland and play the Browns.
I'm gonna give that to the Browns.
And then we end the season in Gillette Stadium over there.
I know they haven't beat the Pats in like fucking 15 to 16 games. I'm gonna say they break the curse, stick it up that bitch ass nigga Bill Belichick's ass. I'm gonna say they go 9-7, right?
9-7
in the AFC East.
Now, them going 9-7, knowing all the other teams that are like pretty in that same position as the Jets, can they make the playoffs 9-7 in the AFC East? I mean, just in the AFC. I apologize.
They got a shot. Who do you got in that ballpark? Cleveland, maybe, right? Who do you say? Let's pull up the fucking stats.
Okay, so right now, if the playoffs is how many teams now go to the playoffs? 8 teams now, or 7? Okay,
8.
So if there's 8 playoff positions right now, in the AFC is KC, Miami, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Indy. I feel like Indy is going to drop because they lost Anthony Richardson for the whole year. They rookie running back. But after 9 is Houston, and then at 10 is the Jets.
Yeah, who are those? Who's on the fringe of that though? Let me pull up the AFC.
Then after the Jets is that are tied with us is Las Vegas and Cincy. They tied at 3-3 with us.
Cincy's gonna make their way back. So
okay, and also the Chargers are 2-3. So I feel like the Chargers could probably boost their way up there too.
The Chargers and Browns to me are the
Chargers.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's gonna be Cincinnati. They're already starting to get back to where they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Pittsburgh, I don't want to take nothing from Pittsburgh, but it depends. They could fluctuate. They have a weak offensive line too, so they could probably come down a little bit if the I don't know.
That's a tough division, that North, man. The Ravens, Steelers, Browns, and Bengals. That's a tough division. That division's about to heat the fuck up, man.
AFC North is a fun division.
AFC North, yeah, the Colts.
The Colts are gonna go down.
Colts, yeah, the Texans
gonna go down.
Bengals, Browns, Broncos are out of here. Chargers, kind of. Raiders. So they're in that mix, man. They're in that mix. Patriots are out of here. It's those. What teams did we say? Those 4 teams.
I could take, to be honest, off the top. I'm gonna take off the last 3 teams. They're gonna be bottom feeders. Tennessee, New England, and Denver. They bottom feeders. I don't see them. They're gonna stay down there.
Tennessee, New England, Denver. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I'm scared. I'm scared of the Chargers, Cincy, and Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Those 4 teams. Those are the 4 teams I feel like the Jets are gonna wind up.
Chargers, Cincy, Cleveland, and who?
And Pittsburgh. Those are the 4 teams I feel like the Jets are gonna battle for the last.
I'm not worried about the Colts.
I'm not worried about the Colts after losing their rookie. Who's their backup? Who's their backup?
Not worried about the Steelers.
I know the Steelers. I mentioned the Steelers.
Did you mention the Steelers?
Yeah, Steelers, Bengals, Chargers, and who I said? Steelers, Bengals, Chargers, and Browns.
What about Raiders?
I'm not. Pretty boy Garoppolo don't scare me.
I'm not ready to count them out though, but okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's just Garoppolo don't scare me. Indy don't scare me. Who's Indy's quarterback? Who's their backup quarterback?
That's a big fucking loss, by the way. But I you know what though, they want to keep him. They want to keep him right. You know what I'm saying? They don't want it to be like I heard them saying they don't want it to be like another Andrew Luck type of thing.
True that.
Who's their backup quarterback? Who?
Minshew, Gardner Minshew.
Oh, Gardner Minshew. Nah,
exactly. So they're going. They're gonna shit themselves. So the only thing I would say that this is a side. We're still kind of playoff talk for the Jets, but the only thing that I find, maybe this is just me, just getting too hyped because I get hyped a little bit. Just seeing Aaron Rodgers throw the football a month after that surgery. You know what I mean? It scares me a little bit on how fast he's progressing. So imagine if they do make playoffs and he's like at least 85%. Do you see them playing him? Just in a different kind of scenario. All right. Maybe
maybe I'm seeing it through my eyes, but they were saying I thought so. I saw something on them. Don't quote me exactly. I don't have the exact information. But I saw something like, is it possible he comes back from the Achilles surgery with whatever this advanced technology shit that they're doing? I saw them how they do it differently than the Achilles shit, but they said that it's also a greater risk of him re-injuring it again, although he can come back. So if I'm the Jets, I don't take the chance on that. I let him come back fully healthy. You got young guys. Your defense is great. You got a lot of nice pieces on offense. Okay. Offensive line is starting to look a lot better. Why bring him back when you can come? Let's say he come back and potentially gets hurt again. Look what happened with Kevin Durant when he came back too early.
Oh yeah, again in the finals. Yep.
Right. Listen. He's on the sidelines. He's throwing the ball. Everyone's excited. He bring him morale and inspiration and all that. Cool, let that rock. But don't and he's a stabilizing presence in terms of calming Zach down. I believe. I think that's really good for Zach. Zach looks a lot better than he did in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and Zach finally listened to him. He finally took off the headband. He playing good without the headband.
Took off the Ryu goofy Street Fighter headband, and You know what I'm saying? And and he's a stabilizing presence for him. And I think he's listen. I tip my cap to Aaron Rodgers, man. He could. A lot of guys when they're rehabbing big time serious injuries, they're away from the team.
Yeah, they're down and out.
He's out there trying to lift
yeah.
the morale. He's being a fucking leader, man. Shout out to fucking Aaron Rodgers, man. He's gonna come. You know what? He's gonna come back next year healthy. Let me, you know what? Let's get the fucking shout. Man. Yo, hold on. Let me get this joint. Shout out to motherfucking Aaron Rodgers. You know what? Because he's out there showing fucking love to the team. You know what I'm saying?
Building morale. Like, remember the week that we were like, oh shit, even the third string running back.
Lick the fucking come on, man, Aaron.
Yeah, baby. Yo,
I'm playing with me, man.
I like that he's building morale for this team because remember the week before he came, they were killing Zach Wilson, and then what he said, he's like, "Yo, guys, you don't bash your quarterback. Be everybody be leaders and build around this guy, follow this guy, build them up."
And they were shitting on Zach Wilson last year with all the Mike White shirts. And Big A-Rod comes over here, and them niggas ain't got none of this. You better listen to A-Rod. I'm a fucking decorated fucking general, nigga. 4 MVPs. You feel what I'm saying? Don't play with me, man. Little nigga, go sit down. Super Bowl champ, although he hasn't won one in a fucking long time. Go sit down, little nigga. I'm Aaron Rodgers.
Third string, don't talk. Listen to me.
Yeah, don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. Only nigga can talk shit out here is Sauce. That's his man. And Lazard and fucking... and what's my man said? What's my man 17?
Oh yeah, Garrett Wilson. He really built that kid. You know he got love for that kid. He says, "Yo, he's a good kid."
Garrett Wilson is a baller. Sauce is a baller. Reese Hall's a baller. These niggas got with the Giants ain't got bona fide playmakers,
ballers, bro. And they 2 young ballers. They drafted them in the same draft. How lucky is that?
Facts.
Like last year's people gave the Jets so much,
and they
kudos.
both won offensive and defensive rookie of the fuck in the same fucking year, man. That's why. Shout out to Joe Douglas. This nigga shitting on Joe Douglas. He did a terrible job with the line, and that was one of the things he said when he came in. He's gonna fix the offensive line, and he hasn't. But let's see who he brought in. He's brought in Aaron fucking Rodgers. I mean, it was Aaron Rodgers wanted to come in anyway. Yeah, Sauce, all the guys we said, all Aaron Rodgers guys. He's done it. Joe, and I'm a little saucy, so I can't think of everybody, but he's done a great. Shout out to Joe Douglas. He's done a phenomenal job. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Joe Shane, step your game up, homie.
Go. Follow that blueprint.
Facts. You know what's I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what's going on. Let's transition, man, because before we get out of here, man, we spent a lot of time on the New York football teams in New York, man.
Yeah.
But yo, as much as a football fan I am, basketball is my favorite sport, brother. You feel what I'm saying? It goes like this: basketball, boxing, and football. You know what I'm saying? I love me some basketball. Yeah, what you gonna say?
Before we transition and talk about, the Knickerbockers, let me just, now that we talking about basketball. I gotta
look a shot for my nigga. Go.
Yo, we gotta give a shout out to the New York Liberty.
Look a shot for the Liberty, nigga.
They built the super team. They went all the way to the finals. They lost it.
New York, they lost it,
but they still had a hell of a season. And don't worry, ladies, y'all gonna come back. Yeah,
Green, Staten,
yeah,
man, LES. What we talking about?
Yo, well, shout out to the Lady Liberty. Don't worry, y'all lost this finals, but y'all still, showed that New York is still here and to be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? And don't worry, y'all gonna come back next year and y'all gonna pop that champagne and we gonna take 100%, it. Y'all gonna bring a championship to New York.
We pop champagne.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ron Browns and Jewels and Dipset. You know what I'm saying?
Word up, man. But I just had to give a quick shout out to the Lady Liberty, man. Very strong season. You know what I mean? It was a heartbreaking loss. We lost by 1 here at home. But shout out to the Aces. They built that monster squad. They played together for years. They built that team to the draft. Shout out to Becky Hammond, former Liberty player. Coached on the Pop. Went into the WNBA and is bringing that formula from the NBA to the WNBA. You know what I mean? Creating better ballers when it comes to the female aspect of the game. You know what I mean? That's what I love. That's, me being a girl dad, I love that my daughter's going to grow up with that kind of basketball.
No doubt. I'm a girl dad too. They don't give a rat's ass about no basketball, but I'm a girl dad.
Well, shout out to them. I got to give a shout out to them. They had one hell of a season.
No question. Drink that Henny, man. Shout out to my son. my son Ray, man, if you listening, man, blessed me with a bottle of anyway. You just made me thought about that. Came from Jamaica. The baller that he is, that's my guy, man. Thank you very much, man. He bought pops a bottle of Henny White, man. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Knicks, man. I am the Knicks. Let me just say that. I
What
am the
up?
Knicks. I know I am the Knicks, my nigga. I promise you. Okay. I've been a Knicks fan. I've been rooting for them a long time. Um, I'm excited, bro. I saw the every year excited, man. You know, I went to the season opener last year. I ran at the Farrell Monch there. Shout out to Farrell Monch. You know, we
Oh
chatted for a
snap!
second. Yeah. We took a pic. It's on Instagram if you want to go see it.
Fire! Someone says, "Get the fuck up."
Yeah, get the fuck up. Shout out to Monch. Dope against Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Fire!
This year, yo, man, I gotta be honest, man. But I'm a little bit scared too, man, because
Likewise.
it gives me those Giant vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, did we
Mm-hmm.
overachieve last year? Made the first round of the playoffs. Same with the Giants. Lost in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the Knicks foundation is a lot stronger than the Giants foundation. Obviously, the Jalen Brunson deal was great. He's phenomenal. I believe, I forgot who it was in the Knicks organization. I saw an interview with the other day say that Jalen hasn't even hit his ceiling yet. That's
Nope, not
scary.
yet.
You feel what I'm saying? Because Jalen
Yeah.
balled out last year. You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
was a free agent steal. The free agent signing steal.
Still, we owe that nigga some money. But yo, we're not gonna pay you right now because we gotta sign other niggas. We're gonna catch you later on the back end. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, shout out to Jalen Brunson, man. Love Jalen Brunson, man. I love him that he wanted to be a Knick. He's one of sometimes a guy will come here and it'll take him a while to ingratiate himself to the fans and acclimate himself to the city and the media. And then we look at him, we're so fucked up as Knicks. I love all my New York dogs. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? We're fucked up as fans. We will fucking shit on we'll shit on you in a second. We're quick to say, oh, he's not a Knick, he's not a Yankee, he's not a Met. You have to have that moment. Jalen Brunson came in, and I think we can all agree that everyone says, yo, Jalen is a Knick.
He's
You know
a
what I'm saying?
dog.
He's a
blessed to
dog.
be a Knick.
You know
Blessed
what
to
I'm
be a
saying?
Knick.
And so I'm excited about that. I do say I do believe in the Knicks front office. At times I was sketchy about him. Leon Rose just never makes himself available to the media, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? He's on his Al Heyman shit. Like, he'll come down and he'll do a crafted, very planned out, choreographed interview, so to speak. But yo, man, he's made some big. He's cleared a lot of cap space. I think we talked about this last week. I think the Knicks have like a shitload of money to spend. They have 2 max contract deals available. They're like low end in the league in terms of cap room space. They have a lot of money to spend. They have a lot of draft capital. Listen. Let's lick a shot for the nigga. Give him his props. Lick a shot for fucking Leon Rose and World Wide West. Nigga. What are we talking about?
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to
him, man. And Leon and World Wide West was, brought here. Everyone knows he's world renowned and no pun intended in basketball circles and players. Yes. And Leon Rose, former agent CAA, supposed to have all the juice to pull these players in, right? Hasn't done that yet, but we still listen. Like I don't know if we talked about this. No one wanted to come here and be a savior these last couple of years, right? No one wanted to add added pressure on him, get shitted on in the media, come to a shitty team, and then they say, "You here, we're gonna give you the ball, we're gonna give you, $250 million, take us to the promised land." It's a fucking impossible task. But now with all these pieces around him, with all this cap room, and with all this draft capital, people are saying, "Man, that's an appealing place to go to."
Yes.
Now here's where World Wide West and Leon Rose. Here's where you guys have to earn your fucking money, though, right? You say you coming in here to bring us that guy. Bring us that guy. Who is that guy? Not sure yet. Obviously, we will love Joel Embiid. I think Spider. I love Spider.
I love Spider too.
I'm gonna ask you this. Heavy talk about my Dominican brethren, and I love him. He's a Jersey kid. He's in the tri-state area. I'm not mad at the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he's a good fit, and I'm gonna tell you why. But what is your take about potentially Carl Anthony Towns, Cat, coming to not your wife,
Ooh.
Cat, the real, I mean, no, your wife's the real Cat, the fake Cat coming to whatchamacallit, to the Knicks.
Oh man, my Dominican brother, because I'm half Dominican out here in these
No
streets.
doubt, no doubt.
My man El Gato Cat. Let me
Suave,
see.
suave, suave, Papa, suave.
I like I like Cat. I like Cat game, but can Cat fit on the Knicks on this Knicks roster? Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my main thing is that if we do pull off a potential trade, who are we giving up? That's my thing. Is to who are we going to give up to get
Mm-hmm.
Towns?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the Knicks have worked so hard to build this team, the team that they have now, a solid team. I still feel like after the Obi trade, I know people kill me on the Obi thing, but I feel like we took a step back after we traded away Obi. You know what I mean? And that's what scares me, like that taking a step back. So if
You really
go
think they took a step back in terms of what? And I'm saying in terms of offensively, like what? In terms of what? I'm just curious.
that pace they had, like when the Knicks had stretches last year that they started that run and gun, they were hard to stop, and most of it was because Obi was on the floor because that dude had a motor. So I don't see nobody else like on the bench coming off the bench that has that same motor Obi had for that run and gun style. Like IQ to Obi was a thing in New York. You know what I mean? Like that
Mm-hmm.
was a thing. Even when Brunson came in the game, or even Josh Hart came in the game, and they were lobbing these passes or giving these passes to Obi. Obi found his spots, so that's why I'm so big on that loss to Obi. So going back to Cat, my thing is, who are they going to give up to get Cat? Because we started off the preseason 1-3, so we got to be realistic. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah,
We
I
got
don't
we
count. I don't put stock in that though. I don't put stock in that.
all right. You all right? Me either. But I just
That's
like
to
to
work
make that.
out the kinks. That's the like you can't really put like the
Mhm.
last game was the big dress rehearsal, and not to cut you off, my bad, but
No, no,
I
no,
don't
no, it's fine.
I don't put too much stock in that. Go ahead.
All right. So all right. So go. It's all right. I'll scratch the preseason talk.
No,
My
that's
thing is,
you could rock with that. I'm just saying.
yeah. My thing is that who are we going to give up? That's my number one priority when it comes to the Knicks, to our Knicks, because that's our team. We love the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing y'all gonna learn about John Sports Talk, we love the Knicks. And shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Nickaholic. He probably being
Mm-hmm.
Nickaholic out there on vacation right now.
Mm-hmm.
uh, but I reiterate, that's my number one key issue is who are the Knicks willing to give up to get Cat? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like who do you see now? And I'm going to ask you that question: what pieces do you see being moved to get a guy like Cat, and who could be moved with Cat to fit in with anything we lost in that deal? I know RJ's always a name that's going to be thrown out there, RJ. But then um, you throw in RJ, and then they have Mitch. They've thrown Mitch's name out there plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, who? Then they've been showcasing Fournier. Fournier
Mm-hmm.
finally found himself back in the lineup these last couple of preseason games. They're showcasing Fournier. Fournier could be thrown in there. Who else? Grimes could throw in there. McBride showcased himself this preseason. So these are just names that I've seen. They also waived the Isaiah Roby. So he's going to get the backup power forward position, but they just waived him and Dwayne Washington. So are they making these moves to get Carl Anthony Towns, or even a bigger fish, a Joel Embiid?
Okay, so all great points. Um, I'll start with the who should they move first?
Mhm.
Ice, please. Um, in terms of who they should move, nobody. The only person I believe you can move, right, and it would be almost a redundant move, so to speak, right,
Mhm.
would be my brother Julius.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say that is because if you look up Carl Anthony Towns stats, they're almost identical to Julius's. You understand what I'm saying? Let me look him. I think I had him right here. I think it's like I think it's 2010, 2010 and 4, I think. I
Mhm.
forgot exactly what it is, but they're almost identical. Their games are almost identical. Their games are very similar. What's the like? Okay, so if you Mitch, although Mitch does create spacing issues, he's a rim protector. I'm always like
Mm-hmm.
this with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially since we lost size, like you said earlier with Obi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you can move Mitch unless you're moving it for the right piece, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you bring in Cat, right? He can't play with Julius. They play the
Nope.
same position. You're gonna
Yep.
move an All NBA All Star on the bench. One of them? No, you're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna do that, right?
You're not.
And
You're
like I
not.
said,
Nope.
their games are similar. And say what you
Mm-hmm.
want about Julius, right? He's I think he's played. I saw a stat. I heard somebody talking. It might have been Alan Hahn, I think, on Knicks fan TV. He's played 95% of his games for the Knicks. Towns
Mm-hmm.
is always hurt. Why would you
Yep.
move a dude with basically the same stat line,
Mm-hmm.
but plays less, is available less? Come
Yep.
on, man. Let's
True
stop
that.
fronting on Julius. Listen, and
Yeah.
everyone who knows me, and niggas gonna be like, "Yo, Cash, you capping because you used to shit on Julius." Yes, I did used to shit on Julius. You know what I'm saying? But
But Julius
people
could
are
ball, bro.
Julius can ball.
He could
People can
ball.
gather more information and change their mind. It's not a
Yeah.
crime to do that. You don't
Yeah.
you don't have to be stuck on the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I saw
I
a stat
do.
about. I saw a stat about Julius. My fault. Now
Yeah,
that we
no,
on
go
Drew,
go.
I saw a stat on Drew last season in the first quarter. He was second in the most points in the first quarter behind Luka Doncic.
Yes,
That's
yes,
big.
yes,
That's
yes.
big. He scored seven. He scored 703 points in the first quarter throughout the whole year behind Luka 741. Behind that was Embiid at 675. That's big. And in the last preseason game, he did it again. He scored 10 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
does. I mean, we kill him. We kill him for the playoffs. But
We
he
gotta
is a
stop,
baller.
man.
He
We
is a
gotta
baller.
stop.
He's
We
a
gotta
baller.
stop. Show Julius some props. And I
Yeah,
do
word.
believe, and I saw either a quote, and I have like one of the worst memories. I saw either a quote, and part of me for not giving credit. It's not that I want to give credit. Just I listen and watch so much shit and read so much shit all week. It all becomes like jumbled up at some point.
Word
I
up.
saw a thing where Julius, I think it was an interview. I forget who it was with. He said, a matter of fact, I think it was post game of the last preseason game
Mm-hmm.
when he actually had a really good preseason game last game. I think he said something to the effect of he's upset. I'm paraphrasing. He wish he didn't get hurt last playoffs. Basically, he wants to redeem himself. I think Julius, and this isn't just blind emotional Nick homerism. You know what I'm saying? I think Julius Randle is gonna have a breakout playoff year this year. You know what I'm saying? I
Oof.
I saw him dunk. He dunked on something with I think he put a helmet on Gallinari last game. Remember, he came down the lane, dribble, even though he's still dribbling with that left. The rocked it on Gallinari. I think
No,
Julius
was it
looks.
Gallinari? No, it was on Tatum. I think it was on Tatum
No,
or
against the
Garrett.
Wizards, against the Wizards.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
This
yeah,
game.
yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I I think Julius is gonna have a great game. I believe we said this before. I believe we're gonna end up with Spider. Now, people are gonna say this. They're gonna say Cash. Well, you're saying to me, right, Cash? You're saying to me, Julius and Cat play the same position and have similar games. Why do you think that Brunson and Brain Fart, help me out here, and Spider
Are gonna work?
are gonna work?
I feel like
Because
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, continue. My
no,
fault.
I
My
just
fault.
believe because they're both dynamic players.
Mm-hmm.
They offset each other. Brunson's not really athletic. Spider's very athletic. They both shoot well,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're short in size, and they're gonna give up. Brunson's a little bit not as sufficient on defense as he could be,
Mm-hmm. Spider
but
as well.
yeah. And I think you're gonna lose that, but I think they're so dynamic and they're such ballers that
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be impossible to guard at the one. Who the fuck is gonna be able to guard Brunson and fucking Spider, right? And then you
Exactly.
got Mitch if he's still here to be on help defense. And if they blow by the backcourt, you got Mitch there to protect the rim. What do you think?
I think I would love Spider and Brunson as a backcourt. I would love that. Like, I'm very big. If you know me in basketball, no homo, I'm very good on size. When it comes to the sport of basketball, I feel like size doesn't matter now that it's
That's
that
definitely
now
a
that
pause, but yeah.
size doesn't matter in the game of basketball to me, because now that I see the way these guys, Denver was a big team. Denver was a big team. The Lakers are a big team. This big team, small ball still running basketball, but in the playoffs when it counts, big man ball is still
big man ball.
dominant. It's still dominant. It's still, it's progressing again in the
When the
NBA.
game slows down, I agree. When it goes to half
Exactly.
court, yeah.
So you need that. But
Mm-hmm.
I always bring this scenario. I always got to bring the scenario. Now that we talking
Mm-hmm.
about Cat, Julius, and all this stuff. If we get a guy like Spider without losing nothing, you know what I mean? And then we bring a guy like Embiid in, who's gonna beat us in the East? You got Spider, Brunson. We keep Randall, and you add Embiid. Like, who's going to beat that Nick team?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. We lose. We'll
who
probably lose a
who
little bit of depth, though. We'll probably lose quick, but okay, I'm still with
We'll
that. I
probably
still
lose
do that.
Quick. We'll probably lose Mitch. We'll probably lose McBride and Grimes. I see, and
Ooh,
Fournier. Those five guys.
we lose a lot
But
of depth, though. But I
but
still
but
think you got to do it, though.
but all right. But think about this: how many guys are like free agents or
Mm-hmm.
and will come to us on like minimum Mets or a year, 2 year minimum deals, to help us win a championship. That
Yes,
I
yes.
always
Role
put that to
players.
play. Exactly. People will be like, you know what? Let me go to that Nick team. Let me see if they, with that core that they got, let me be that one piece to help them bring them this
Facts.
championship. So I like that. I like those potential moves. And even with this core Nick team that they have now, a lot of guys like Zach Lowe from ESPN, he's saying that this team could probably go to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Like, that's how good this Nick team is. Even last season, this previous season, I saw them in Eastern Conference Finals too. If until we battled a better, well-rounded Miami team,
We
we were better
had
off
it though,
paper.
bro.
Yeah, we
Julius
had it.
was hurt, and we
Mhm.
almost won that last. That was that game. What was that game 6?
Game 6 or game 5. I forgot, to be
No,
honest.
we lost 4-2,
Yeah, so it
right?
was game 5. Game 5.
No, it was game 6. We lost 4. We won 2 games, right?
Yeah. Oh, game 5. 4. 5. Yeah, it's game 6. Sorry,
Game
my
6.
math is
Game
off.
6.
It's the hennies in
We
the system.
Jalen was bringing us back single handedly, and he
Hmm.
had that little turnover, which was fucking.
That
It's so
happens, man.
unfortunate, man.
That
You know what
happens,
I'm
bro.
saying?
I'm
But
not gonna even kill him for
we
that, bro.
could have pushed. We could have brought that to 7. And the game 7, it would have went back to the Garden. We
Yes.
had a home court. We theoretically should have won that series, right?
Yes.
Tibbs
Yes.
got
On
out
paper.
coached a little bit, right?
Hmm.
He won that series. You're in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's not Zach. Shout out to Zach Lowe. I heard him say that too on the shit with Malik Andrews and all that.
Yeah.
It's not that far fetched. Now, however, right, the East has gotten exponentially better. Let's just be honest.
Yes, they did. Yes,
But
they did.
it's not far fetched to say the Knicks can go to. Listen, Grimes. We expect Grimes to take a step up, right? I'm
Hmm.
not sure about RJ. We hear RJ is going to take a step every year. I think RJ kind of is who he is. Hopefully, he gets a little more efficient from the field. Gets a little better
Mm.
with his free throws. Um, Quickly was hurt as well in the playoffs last year. We got
Hmm.
DiVincenzo, right?
Hmm.
That's gonna
Hmm.
create some floor spacing, right?
Yes.
So
I saw
you know,
McBride. McBride showcased himself offensively this
McBride
preseason.
and your guy you love, what's the kid?
Hartenstein.
Not Hartenstein, the kid who jumps out the gym.
Your boy Sims.
Jericho Sims, you know what I'm saying? And
That boy gotta
we
go.
have we have mega depth though. We have mega
Yeah, we
depth.
do.
We have good
We do.
coaching.
Oh, you talk about
Uh,
coaching. You talk about coaching. To me, the number one thing about this next season, I'm calling it the year of the Thibodeau.
mhm,
He's going
mhm,
into the 4th year.
mhm,
2 playoff series.
mhm,
No, 2 years in the playoffs. 1 year he missed. Right.
mhm.
This is the year of the Thibodeau. This is the year that all eyes on me, all eyes on Tibbs, because if Tibbs doesn't do good with this team, he could probably be on the way out. I don't. That's just my opinion. I don't know if I could be completely wrong, but this
I
is the
don't
year of
I
Tibbs.
don't necessarily disagree. I, Can Tibbs, Tibbs is very good at culture building. He's very good at,
He built the
defensively.
culture.
He's he's stubborn in certain ways. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Tom Coughlin back in the days when he first got to the Giants. Didn't really want, didn't really want to acquiesce to being a certain type of coach. But he's kind of evolving. The first couple of years, Tibbs didn't want to play any of the young guys. Everyone was killing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think his hand was forced a little bit because we needed
Mhm.
to see what we had. Think he might have stunted the growth along with Julius Randle of Obi a little bit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Obi's almost, I look at Obi almost like Sam Darnold or a quarterback or something like in the right system and with confidence instilled in him and maybe more playing time. Obi, to me has the athletic ability and the talent to maybe have been a superstar. His game didn't develop where it should have been. But I digress. But back to Tibbs. I think they would have to bomb so bad, and I think they would have to make that major move to bring that major superstar in here, right? If they bring a Joel Embiid in here, and like a spider, he's on the clock at this point. You feel what I'm saying? You're on the clock, brother. You know what I'm saying? Second round of playoffs is not going to get it done.
Nope.
But I think with the team as presently constructed, I think he's in a good job. And I don't think this team is a championship team. So I don't see how you could fire him. They win 50 games, they go second round of the playoffs. Are we going to be a little bit disappointed? Yes. Will it be realistic to say that's kind of where they should be? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with you. I'm not sure he can. I want him to win a championship with us. I'm not sure if he is the type of coach that can bring us to that next level. Because I think maybe strategically and X and O's wise, he's not as proficient as some of these other guys, as Spoelstra and Pop and Ime Udoka and all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's a great culture builder, and I think they run through walls for Tibbs. Yes. So I do agree with you. I agree and I disagree. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love Tibbs. I love the culture he built. The defensive mindset. It's like Alan Hahn said most recently. The Knicks have gone through so many stages that we finally have a culture. We build a culture that we know we have an identity again.
Facts.
We have an identity like we had in the 90s. In the 90s, what was our identity? We were defensive beasts. You come to the Garden or we go to your crib, we're going to play you hard. No homo. We're gonna play you, I was gonna say some other homo shit, but we're gonna play you, we're gonna be on you. We're gonna be on you like the glove. It's like 5 Gary Paytons out there. That's how we used to play in the 90s. So now we found that identity again. So I give kudos to Tibbs for bringing that culture, that identity.
Absolutely.
Back. But the thing is, we've been saying this for a while, even in his previous 2 coaching stints with the Timberwolves and the Bulls, he only takes his team to a certain level. He showed what he could do with talent. Look at that Bulls roster he had. He had tremendous talent, depth, everything.
Who's on that Bulls roster? We had
Joakim Noah, young Taj Gibson. You had a young Jimmy Butler. You had Derrick Rose, MVP Derrick Rose.
Luol Deng was on there?
Luol Deng. You had a Kurt Heinrich. He had guys, bro. Guys. He had guys, and his team's only
don't know if that was a championship team, but they were good.
All right, but coming out the East, at least during that era, the Cleveland Cavaliers was the team to beat, but they weren't as strong. And also, I felt like they could have gave they had
LeBron.
Yeah, true. You're right.
But let me stop throwing salt on your shit. I do agree. That team underachieved 100%.
Yeah. The Timberwolves team. It was kind of a messed up situation because the Timberwolves been under turmoil for a long time, so I felt like it was hard.
Who the Timberwolves have?
The Timberwolves had Jimmy Butler again. They had Cat. They had Wiggins. I think they had Did they have Wiggins? They had Wiggins and Levine.
Because LeBron got him traded.
Yeah, and then they had Wiggins and Levine and you know what I mean. And Jimmy Butler was there for a while. They had Jeff Teague. Like those type of guys. Like,
that was a good team. That was a good team. Yeah.
And they didn't need to. So, to my conclusion is that Thibodeau, you've seen what Thibodeau could do with talent, but they only reach a certain level. So that's why I say again, this is the year of the Tibbs. Maybe this year, maybe that. Maybe I'm going a little bit. I'm jumping the gun. Maybe this year, maybe next year is the year of the Tibbs, because us as New York fans, we want to reach the height of all heights, man. We want to be the king of the mountain. It's been far too long.
We need it. We want it so bad we might cry.
Exactly.
Remember that ghost shit?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, talk about that.
Canada Dry. We won't lie. We want it so bad we might cry.
We might cry.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ghostface for that line.
Shout out to Ghostini.
Go. We need that, son. We need that. And that's just what I feel about Tibbs. I'm not taking nothing away from his credentials. Coach of the year with us, a staple with the on the defense, et cetera, et cetera. But can he take us to the promise? Can he take us to the promised land? Is he the guy? Because you've seen it before. You've seen guys that taking certain teams with certain talent, players, certain talented players, take you to the second round, take you to the second round, take you to a Western Conference or Eastern Conference. They fire him, they bring another coach, and that coach takes him to the level that they need to go. I'm not saying that could happen to the Knicks, but it could happen to the Knicks. You know what I mean? You get my flow? Like, look at Golden State.
100%.
Look at Golden State and Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson created that team with Golden State. They get rid of him. They bring in Steve Kerr. What did Golden State become? A championship caliber team. You know what I mean? You've seen that happen before. So why can't? What is it?
I want to talk about that one day. That's for another day, but I want to talk about that because I think Mark got a raw deal.
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna bring some facts behind that shit.
He did.
And I know
he was real. He was too real. He was too real for that organization.
The whole religious thing, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He was a little bit unbendable. Pause. Listen, we're gonna have some really dope. Listen, we love to do current events here, but we're gonna have some really dope ideological episodes too, and philosophical. Excuse me, wrong word. Philosophical episodes, and we're gonna bring some real cool. We're gonna do some cool shit, man. We're gonna do like verses. We're gonna do our own version of verses here. Got a lot of dope shit planned, man. We just need you to fucking subscribe.
Word.
And hit like, man, because we're not feeling love, man. I don't feel love, man. Like you ever seen Paid in Full when a nigga said, it's love day. Come around the fence, man. I'm giving out love when these niggas balling and shit. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, great astute analysis, Ed, as always, man. I appreciate you, man. You are an asset to our company. Shout out to my man Q.
Yeah. We miss you, Q.
We miss you, little nigga. We love you now. He's not a little nigga. He's a big nigga. Pause. We love everybody who tunes in. Keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe. Please show us that love because we do work extremely fucking hard. Shout out to my man King Amin. Any shout outs? We got any shout outs today? We normally don't do shout outs. Want to shout anybody out before we skate off?
To be honest, off the bat, I really don't got no shout outs except for Q, my man Q out on vacation. So, we gotta, you just shout him out, but I'm gonna shout him out again. Shout out to Q living life right now on vacay.
Living la vida loca.
Yeah, it's like you always say, you gotta decompress and stuff like that. We ain't gonna say 100%. What's his location right now, but hopefully he's sipping back them beers, them beers right now. Make sure you bring us
he's
some.
Not involved in any shootouts either.
Word.
Yo, shout out to my man Son of L. Shout out to my man Jay. Shout out to my man L. Shout out to everybody who I fuck with my inner circle, man. Shout out to everybody, man. I'm feeling a lot of love, man.
Word.
And we have our core audience that we love. We will, like I said, we will be going live soon. We will be taking calls. But I need to see you guys want to call up. I need to see some love on your end, man. We need to like and subscribe. You feel me?
Not to say that now that I see you went that route. I'm gonna give some shout outs to some of my on my side, some of the originals that be showing us love. Shout out to my man Fito. Shout out to my man Lucchini.
Shout out to your man Lucchini who tapped in faithfully under the comments every week. I never met you, brother, but salute.
Yes, my man Lucchini. Yeah. My man Lucchini's so crazy, love. That's my boy.
This is it. What? Lucchini falling from the sky. Let's get rich. What?
Yeah, that's crazy. I say that to him all the time too. Yo, shout out to my man Lucchini. Shout out to my man Fito. Shout out to my man San Peso. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my man Ariel that he been showing us love. He just hit me up showing us love. Shout out to my man Black, my man A. My man Ronnie. Shout out to everybody that be showing us love, man. We appreciate you daily, and we love that you rock with us every day, all day, every day. Shout out to my coworker Mark. My coworker Mark tells me every time I see him, when I see him on shift, when I relieve him or he relieves me, he's like, I really enjoy your show, man. You guys are real, man. You guys bring the stuff that people need to hear, not that white collar stuff on ESPN. And he's Caucasian, so coming from him, that means a lot. Saying that he knows our realness. Shout out to Mark.
Shout out to my man Cuba. Ernesto Che Rosa. He always show love, man. He's a super Knicks fan. He always taps in with the show. Me and him have a lot of fun on Facebook talking shit about the New York teams, man. He's a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of his. Shout out to my man G at a character. We're gonna get out of here. We got to start the show. Shout out to my man G at a character.
Shout out to G. Salute.
And shout out to everybody, man. Let's get out of here. You're gonna do the toast, right? Because I'm sauced the fuck up. Let's get it, man.
Yo,
I should be.
Me too, because it was a fun episode.
It was fun, man. We don't need Q. Fuck it, Q. Don't come back. Stay out there.
That's his opinion, Q. We miss you. I miss you, dog. I miss you, dog. Nah.
Yeah.
But on the real, this toast goes out to, like we were just saying, all the love that we've been getting. Make sure y'all keep on showing us love. Recommend the show so we can get more subscribers, so we can start getting paid out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Make this a living. You know, even though we do this for a living, regardless. You know,
And
we
we
love
can
this.
start bringing you more shit. Once you
Exactly.
help us help you. Go ahead.
Exactly. Well said.
You know what I'm
Help us
saying?
help you so we can keep
Facts.
on bringing you dope content and really be out here in these streets
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day. Because that's what we want to do. We want to be on
Mm-hmm.
this all day, every day. With that being said, much love. We love y'all. This is the 16th episode, Drunks episode. Continue showing us love. That will continue showing you guys love and bring you great content. Salute.
Salud.
Mm.
Peace.
Peace.